fellow travelers, your traveling buddy here, coming to you today from Lansing, Michigan. And today, I'm here at the Michigan Library and Historical Center right here. Right now, they got the Michigan Museum inside there. And today, I'm going to start a little regular thing going on. Once in a while, they have a certain section in this museum where they do different types of activities and stuff like that, or historical things. And they change it up every once in a while, and I get emails all about it all the time. And I've been meaning to do this, to come up here and show you the different things that they do. They said every other month or something like that, they changed it up. So whenever I hear about one, I'll take you down here to the museum. So travel with me, will you? They even got a little barge out there. Look at that. See that little barge floating in there? Been in this museum many times, and this is one of the coolest things they got. So look, you got a pine tree right in the middle here, and they got this little pond, or like fountain actually, and all that. It's got all kinds of art thing in there. And it's in the shape of Michigan in one way. See on the other side, they got little shapes of Michigan. And this is the Michigan Library and Historical Center, and you see above there, that's the thing that I'm talking about right there right now. In that little section, it's called The Secret Lives of Michigan Objects. And it's up from June 22nd, 2019 to May 30th, 2020. So next year, about May, that's when they'll change this up. Here, that's like the shape of Michigan, right there. These little pieces right there. See all kinds of little islands out there. It's pretty cool. Normally, the admission in here is adults 18 plus, or $6. Seniors 65 and over, $4. Youth 6 to 17, $2. Children up to 5 years old, free. But Sundays, which is today, that's Sunday, that it's free. You can come in here for free on Sundays. Middle here, and the floor, they got our state symbol. That's our state symbol. Right there, and then of course you got the robin. And see, the elevators here will take you up to where the actual museum is. But where we're going right in there. That's where they do the special exhibits. This is what this section is going to be about: the secret lives of Michigan objects. What does your stuff say about you? The lamp on your nightstand, the footstool in your living room, the toaster in your kitchen. They all have stories to tell you about you and your family. But your stories together with those people all over the state, and you get Michigan history being made every day. Michigan History Museum uses objects to tell stories about our state. The exhibit explores some special objects. We think all objects are special. We invite you to explore what it means to collect and care for them, and help us choose what to display. What does Michigan stuff say about Michigan? Right here, help us develop this exhibit. Over the summer, we invite you to help choose which stories and objects this exhibit will include. Explore the gallery for opportunities to participate. So right there, they're asking you to help, with a lot of these things. So if you live in Michigan and you have an idea, contact them. I'm sure they'll take your advice. There's one of our famous drinks around here. Werner's. Werner's Bottling Company, Detroit, 1866 to 1985. Usually different. 1950s screen printed ink on sale. Michigan History Museum. Right there. And our other famous soft drink around here is called Fago. A lot of people don't know what Faygo is. I've heard a lot of people online saying, "What is Faygo?" It's a little drink that we have here. It's a pop, or soda pop, whatever you want to call it. That's what they're talking about, the art. You see that little German guy on there? We have a lot of German connection. One of the most famous places is called Frankenmuth. I've done a video there about the Christmas store. They're called Browner's, the world's largest Christmas store in the world. It's all how you look at it. Every museum tells different stories from different angles. The Michigan History Museum wants to get your interest in Michigan stories, so we show our collection in historical settings with labels that explain something about their connection to history. Art museums want to see the beauty, techniques, and values of their collection, so they highlight each object individually with labels and artists and their intentions. We prominent the historic Berners bottle as the art object. Have you ever seen a bottle pop in the art museum? And I'll put a link down to that video I did for Browners. Yeah, Browners is the largest Christmas store in the world, and it's right here in Michigan. Example of like your living room back in the day. Behind the scenes, how does a period room come together? We want to recreate a room for display that looks like a room from the past. We start by doing some research. We decide if we're recreating a specific room and a specific person lived in, or one that gives visitors a feel at the period. We look for photos, catalogs, magazines, paintings, or drawings that can show us what rooms look like in the past. What colors did people use? Paint, wallpaper. What items did people put in their room? What was the room used for? Was the room kept clean, or was it dusty workspace? It says down here, it says, we haven't quite finished installing this room. Can you find the clues to where we're at in this process? That room. See, look at the old Atari. Look at that. Got an old Atari in there. I remember we were the first ones in our neighborhood to have an Atari. Old TV over there. Old record player. That's an actual record player. Or it could be a radio. I think it's a record player. Oh, look at connect for you play the bean bags where you throw it in there. Play the tic-tac-toe. Look at the game there with the Atari. It's a Star Wars game. So this would have to be 70s, I believe. I'm sure what game that is. I'm trying to zoom in on it. Can't really read that, but that's a Star Wars game. Trying to figure out what game that is so that tells me what year it is. If you can tell what game that was and what year it was, leave me a comment below. So you notice inside the Atari game, there's a game in there called Combat, and I used to actually have that game. I used to be real good at it. It was a tank game. You drove a tank.
Look at the Motorola radio.
You got the old Berners bottle right there that we just saw over there in that case. A lot of people like to drink Berners around Michigan. There's the state. Got a book down there because it's my state and its story. They got right there. Pigs in space. I remember that. That's funny. Old popcorn popper right there. It's an old popcorn popper. Even that. God, I remember those like end tables that you put it by the couch. I remember those. My mom had. We had some of those when I was growing up. Got our most famous store right here. They got their pop bottles right there, and then they were in glass. It's Meyer, and Myers is starting to grow. I've seen them in other states now. They said, but they started right here in Michigan, right in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's where Myers started out, and there's it growing big. I said there's the box for the Atari, and then right below it says Star Wars game. So yeah, this is definitely probably the beginning of the Star Wars. About, what was it, 77? Was it 77 when Star Wars came out? I can't remember. If you know, leave a comment below. Look at that. I've never heard of that one. That game there is called Michigan Rummy. Never heard of that one. Oh, they're right next to it. Look. The Beverly Hillbillies game. Never heard of that one either. And of course, there's the classics up here. You got Sorry, Candyland, Mary Poppins. No, I don't remember the Mary Poppins ones. Hi Ho Cheerio. Right there, Hi Ho Cheerio. Oh, here's that Toss Across. That's the one that's down there. That's what that tells, Toss Across. That's what that was called. And right there, I was just talking about Frankenmuth. Frankenmuth Bavarian Special. Yeah, that's a town here called Frankenmuth. I want to get back there. There's much more to explore in Frankenmuth. Looking around, and you can really tell this was mid-70s because look, they got this old shag carpet. Orange shag carpet. Now I remember green shag carpet, but that's orange. Oh, look at the hair dryer. This one's here. Look. Oh, look. Anderson. That's my last name. Anderson. Oh, wow. What's the other side say? Let me see. Cedar. Oh, I know Cedar. Cedar Street. That's our main street right here in Lansing. But Anderson, yeah, that's my last name. Bunch of items in here. Remember those old roller skates? Strap them on. That was the roller skates back then. You didn't have actually shoes. You used your actual shoes. I remember those. Old stapler right there. Look at that. Bunch of old toys. Old Geiger counter. An old Geiger counter right there. Oh, wow. Bunch of stuff. Yeah. Oh, I remember Mom having this. You see this here? Mom used to have a perm. She used to have that. She used to put that on her head. I remember that thing. Post office boxes back there. There used to be an old post office down here downtown area. I wonder if that's where that came from. Who remembers this? The green stamps. Look at that. Who remembers getting the green stamps when you go to this grocery store? Cabinet Curiosities. The precursor of the modern museum was the Cabinet of Curiosities. By the 16th century, collectors began to exhibit their artifacts in small rooms and cabinets. The collectors were usually wealthy aristocrats interested in the natural world. Objects could include minerals, arts, books, religious relics, historical objects, fossils, and animals, and human bones and skulls. Some cabinets or curiosities became the foundation of modern museum collections.
Go up there like you're hanging again.
They even got, see these little things here. Help us choose some of the Michigan's History Museum's most unusual objects for our cabinet. Vote for an object that you would like to learn more about. Grab a couple of these and see what I want, because here we got the electric toaster. Look at that. And that's an actual toaster. Elaborated two-slice electric toaster from 1920s to 1930s. In order to toast both sides of the bread, one simply had to press the two white buttons on the base, and the arms holding the bread would rotate. That's pretty cool. This is like quackery stuff. The vibrating chair, used at the Kalamazoo State Hospital and manufactured by the Battle Creek Sanitarium Equipment Company. The chair was invented in 1883 to increase circulation and aid relaxation. Huh. Hair wreath, 1860 frame hair wreath made by mothers in honor Michigan, from hair cut from the heads of pupils as token to remembrance to the teacher, Mr. Kittredge. Wow, can you imagine a gift like that? Watch band. Aluminum watch band made by a Michigan soldier while stationed in Guam during World War II. These bands are often made from aircraft aluminum, as leather bands rotted in the humid tropical climate. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Homemade watch band. Ceramic slipper. Model of exact size of the first shoes worn by Queen Victoria as a baby, made at Sidmouth, England in 1819. Oh, that's interesting. X-ray machine. I've seen some of these in other museums. A fluoroscope X-ray machine used to shred shepherd shoes, lancing for fitting children's shoes. The children put their foot into the bottom slot, while the parents and salesmen viewed how the shoes fit the foot. I remember hearing about that because they did away with it, and now most of them, they had to take the thing out because it's like radioactive. Imagine back in the day, you put your foot in that thing. Cream molds. Right there, see? Ice cream molds date back as far as the 1700s and were generally made from ceramic, lead, or pewter. They were used to create elaborate table settings that would then be eaten at the end of the meal. These particular molds were received from Michigan State University, dairy, and date from 1930s to 1960s. Wow. I've actually been to the the dairy store. I have to put a link down to that video. Umbrella. Umbrella with the compass in the handle, purportedly gifted to this Mrs. Nancy Carey by President Lincoln in 1864. so that she might never lose her way again. Mrs. Carey, a Union nurse traveling from one camp to another, was captured by Confederate soldiers as a spy. It had a compass in it. That's probably why they thought she was a spy. That's interesting. I think I would want to know more about her. So I'm going to put a note in there. I want to know more about that woman. Here we go. The Beach Buddy picnic cart. The Beach Buddy picnic cart is a prototype made in 1947 by the White Welders and Instrument Company, Berlin County, and it was everything you needed for a Michigan summer day at the beach, including a built-in grill. I could use one of those nowadays. That's pretty cool. Prize mug. Pro-wear mug, also called a surprise mug,
Look at this.
commemorating the
Dennis.
Crimean War 1854 to 1856. Inside the mug is the figure of a frog or a toad. See right there. A toad or a frog. Can you imagine that? Drinking that and all of a sudden you see a frog. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Voted on that one. And there's a bunch of things here.
Okay.
Which one would you want to learn more about? Leave a comment below. Of the real stories of Michigan. In 1874, the ancestor organization of Michigan History Museum was founded for the purpose of collecting and preserving historical, biographical, or other information regarding relation to the state of Michigan. Founding courier Mary Ferry collected objects relating to everyday people as well as political leaders, but kept her focus on the state's Yankee pioneers. An artifact is an object with a story that gives it a deeper meaning. Today, the museum is committed to collecting artifacts, photos, and documents that tell the real story of the divisive people who lived, worked, and influenced Michigan history. And the corner museum, look at that. Michigan Pioneer and Historical Collection displayed at the Capitol in 1904. So that used to be actually in our Capitol. Well, look, this belongs in my museum. The object belongs in the museum. And here's proof. Write a label at the table. Place it on the mount. Put your object in the museum quality vitrine and take a photo. Tag it that this belongs in my museum. Right there. That's cool. I'll have to do that. Now, they're asking you to write that down. I think I'm going to take one of my business cards. I'm going to stick it in here. I should be in their museum. Look, see? They should put that in their museum. The traveling buddy. See you around the mitten. That doesn't scream out Michigan. I don't know what does. This is about tarnish. Look for the tarnish in the fingerprints on the silver cup. It tarnished when the silver plating reacted with the air, forming a thin layer and corrosion. The salt and oils on your hands cause tarnish and etc. fingerprints into the surface. To avoid brasso polish and remove tarnish with a gentle mixture of distilled water and calcium carbonate. Then we apply a thin coat of protective polish to form a barrier layer and slows tarnishing. Fingerprints can never be removed, so We always use gloves when handling shiny surface metals. Right there is, that's the stuff they rub on it. And here's the silver cup. Can you see the fingerprints? Rust can form on iron or steel artifacts such as these Dotson shaped and andreas. If there is no barrier layer such as paint to protect them, they react to oxygen and moisture. If we do not intervene, the rust will eat away the entire object, and it might spread to the objects around it. Stopping rust can strictly establish if the object is made of more than just iron or steel. Once there is a hole, we can never recover that part in the object. If the object is all metal, we can keep the object's environmental as dry as possible, but it also includes wood. We have to comprise and make the air less dry. And there's the little dots, and you see how it rusted away right there. It's breaking. And then here's the one they actually saved. See the difference? That's what rust can do. And of course, anybody who lives here in Michigan, see our cars, and we know that problem. So this wooden barrel head was cracked from being in a too dry space that are too hot, cold, dry, or damp can damage objects in an enclosed environment such as your house. If the temperatures goes up, the relative humidity goes down. If the temperature or RH change too quickly, objects can acclimate fast enough and can become damaged. Museums are visual dialoguers like this one to track functions and temperatures and RH so we can keep objects safe. And they say the temperature right there. You see how that cracked? This one. Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. Careless handling is the main cause of damage to objects. Here at the museum, we use foam to pad artifacts to move them with carts. We also never pick things up by their handles. Once they're used so much during the object's use life, handles are usually the weakest point of the artifact, as the teapot lid just demonstrates. So how many people have played ball in the house or whatever like that and broke your mom's favorite little vase or whatever like that? Yeah, I'm sure she was mad. About it for this one. I've seen other displays they've had. It was a lot bigger, you know. Maybe that's why they kept having other things asking you. Maybe they're losing ideas, but it's still pretty interesting. Like I said, they're asking for help, so, and they do have a website. This belongs in my museum, so look it up. If you have an idea, send them an email or something. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. I love coming in every year, every time, though. This area never changes, which is good. I mean, you see a little battle scene right here. And about the glory of these defaced old flags will never ever be as object and inspiration. They respect a nationality which have plenty and prefer their lives to maintain. Let us then tenderly deposit them as sacred sacred relics in the archives of the state where to stand forever. Her proudness, possession, revive, incentive to liberty and patriotism, and constant republic and terror to opposition and treason. Governor Henry H. Crapo, July 4th, 1866. These old flags right here. There's all kinds of things. Save the flags. They got old Navy outfits over here. All kinds of war things. Even the nurses are recognized in here. That old gun there. And then right here is our state flag. And this is no flashes. Please help save the flags. No flashes photography of the flag. That's our state flag. That's an old flag right there. That's why they're trying to save it. See how when they talked about that one time about the light, you see they keep that light low, and that's why they don't want no flash. Isn't that a beautiful flag? It's got some tears in it. There's a tear right there. Seen better days, but at least they're keeping it alive. Alright, fellow travelers, that's about it for this quick exhibit down there. The start of my little thing that I'm going to start doing. Every time they change it up, I'm going to come down here and film that. You know, this is a great museum, Michigan History Museum, right here in Lansing, Michigan. If you ever get down here, Lansing, come down here and check this out. This is a great place. Lots of videos. I'll put a link down in my video where I tour the whole place. It's a little bit long, but it shows exactly what this place is about. That information I showed you about the Mackinac Bridge, because I'm still proud of myself for walking that bridge. So if you like this video, hit that like button. Share, subscribe. Any comments from me? Any comments appreciated. Any ideas for me to do? Let me know. I just might show up and do it. So till next time, my fellow travelers, I'll see you around the mitten.